you terrible at the game? Well, fear not. I'm going to teach you how to do pretty much everything in the game. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to teach you is how to move. You pretty much move your hands. These are your hands. You move them parallel to the ground. Parallel is where it's like straight lines, like straight next to each other, but they would never touch. If you move them, let's say linear, you're not going very fast. But if you move it parallel, you stay close to the ground so you can move even more. So how to do this faster? Pretty much, you take your hand and you go like this, still going parallel to the ground. So you can also do it like this. There's also a lot of other ways. This is called funny running. So I'm just gonna show you what it looks like in third person. Like that. Next thing I'm gonna be teaching you is how to get into a code with your friends, or just like join a private room code, and like how the computer works. To get in this little tree trunk, I'm gonna show you how. So there will be a little ramp here. You just walk up this ramp all the way to about here. You'll notice it ends, so you're like, where does it go? Well, it goes right there, so you just hop like that. And then there will be a small little opening. You just go through it, and then you're in the stump. There's a few cool things. One cool thing is this computer, which shows room codes. If I hit the arrow, it shows your name. Arrow again, it shows colors. Turning, I have a modded computer, sorry. It shows turning. You can change this. Yours will probably look like this. So to do smooth, you can just read all this stuff. But I have stick drift, so I turn this on 0. Mic mode, that's just for your voice. Q, there will be 3 Qs. Option 1 for default, option 2 for minigames, and option 3 for competitive. Group, it shows map and what map you're in. There's a lot of maps. There's about like 8 or 7. I don't really know off the top of my head. And then particles and instruments. These are cosmetics. I'll show you how to buy these right after this. So pretty much there's hats. Boom. I have a lot of, don't have a lot. Faces. Badges. Holdables. And yeah, that's pretty much it. How to get these accessories / cosmetics. Right here, it should say a store button. Right there, like store. Just go down this tunnel. I'll show you. So you go down this tunnel right here into a new map called City. Now in City, this is where you purchase your cosmetics. I'll show you where you can buy some stuff. So there's a nice gorilla store, and if you just go in here, there's holiday packs, self-checkout, the dressing room where you can try on stuff, and obviously the cosmetics. So over here, it should say successfully got daily shiny rocks, current shiny rock. It should say an amount there, most likely 500 unless you're on Steam, then it's 5,000. 100 more shiny rocks in, and then it should say a number for the hours and then number for minutes. And over here, here's some purchasable stuff. So I'll show you how to purchase something. Say I want this. I'll click on that. I'll run over here into the dressing room, and this is optional. You can try it on. Say I like it, it looks good. I can run over here to the self-checkout up there and click that button. Now I'm obviously not actually going to buy it, but you hit yes and then yes, I need it to buy stuff. And now over here, this is where you can buy stuff. It shows your balance. You just hit begin. Over here, if you click this button, then it should show your balance. If you go back, you can purchase something. $4.99 USD for 1,000, $9.99 for 2,200, which is a 200 profit, and then 19.99 USD for 5,000, which is a 600 profit. So you can, once you hit this, you purchase it, it will say you have chosen this, and then it will say that, and then if you hit confirm, it will bring up another purchase menu, and then you can purchase it. It will take a second to register, but eventually this will update to whatever you bought, and then you can buy stuff. These are the seasonal limiteds. These are flashbacks from like years prior, and yeah. Now I'm gonna show you wall climbing. It's also in this map. You just go, like that's the entrance, and you just go all the way from here to this little corner. So pretty much how you wall climb is, it's like a little, like this motion. Now you don't want to push off against it. Like I said before, you want to be parallel, and you also want to be going up and not sideways. So more like a diagonal thing and not a sideways. I'll show you what it looks like. So whenever I get on it, as you can see, I'm going diagonally up and I'm not going parallel like this. Because if you do that, you don't get very far. But say I do this and I reach the top. So once you have a practice with the 90-degree angle, then we have to get more acute and obtuse. So I'll just show you what this looks like. So run back to the forest map by going through this little thing. In here, right there, it should say store. Here in the stump thing again, and then whenever you exit, it shows your forest map. So just run over here, and right here there should be a little wall. Now these are surrounding the map. It's like a barrier. Pretty much, you see these little angles, like little cracks, I guess. Pretty much you just do it in these. Now it's more acute and obtuse now, so it's kind of harder. Right angles are way easier to practice on, so I would recommend practicing on the right angles. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna show you what it looks like in third person. So here's what it looks like. As you can see, I'm going parallel to the wall, and then you just do that, and pretty much it gets you up the wall. And I'll show you the bad example where you go like this. See, it doesn't get me far. I just fall, so it's not very good to use. I would not recommend using it. The next thing I'm going to teach you is wall climbing, wall running, sorry. To wall run, a great place to practice is on this leaderboard. It's in the gazebo right next to the tree trunk stump. You just walk in here, and now you can practice your wall running. Pretty much you just go like this. Just practice that. And now it should look something like this. Perfect, I know, right? That's pretty much how you do wall running. Now you can practice it in the wall. You still want to be parallel to the wall, so remember that. So here's what it looks like. Like that. Here's what it will look like in the third person. As you can see, you can wall run pretty far. Next thing I'm going to show you is Lucioing, which is also on the wall. Now, you cannot practice in this anywhere else in the map but the wall, so I'll just show you it on the wall. Alright, so pretty much, the Lucio run is pretty much where you just take your hands, and it's like a bicycle. It's like this kind of motion. You do that, and you start to go up, as you can see. The thing is, you're not supposed to go straight up with this. You're supposed to go diagonal. So I'll show you what it looks like in diagonal. As you can see, you get pretty far up. I'll show you what it looks like in first person so you can maybe understand it a bit more. There you go. And then I'll show you what it looks like in the third person view. Like that. If you practice that a bunch, you'll do pretty good. And then final thing is verticaling. Now, obviously by the title of what the skill's called, you go straight up. There's really no way to explain this, but it's pretty much combining all the skills that you've just learned on the wall. So, you do one cycle of Lucio to get started like that, and then it's pretty much just wall running or straight up. I'll show you what it looks like in first person. There, kind of like that. I'm only gonna go up that far, and now I'll show you what it looks like in third person. Kind of like that. That's all I can really teach on the wall. Next thing we're gonna go to is the double walls. You'll see two long wooden pillars, or two wooden like squares, rectangles. Yeah, rectangles. And now I'm gonna show you how to pinch cut. Now you might think you like grab it like this. That is not how you hug the wall, and you kind of just like push yourself up and forward. So if you do up, you're not gonna get very far, but if you do up and forward, you'll get farther. So this is what it looks like in first person. Pretty simple. And here's what it looks like in third. As simple as that. Next thing is elevator climbing. Pretty much you stick your right hand through the wall. Now that my right hand's through the wall, you do like a circle motion to thrust yourself up. Now it won't like pinch climb like this because it won't get you very far. Instead, just do it with one hand, just like that. I'll show you what it looks like in the third person so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to know. Like that, and then you can go faster. I'm just doing everything slow so you understand. That's all the double walls. Next, I'm going to teach you the trees. So, pretty much, there's two skills on the trees. Scaling and branching. I'll show you scaling first. So, pretty much to scale, you put your hand on like a tree trunk, and it's kind of like wall running on a tree. So, I'll show you what it looks like on a bigger tree like this. Like that. And then this is what it looks like in third person whenever I do that. Just like that. Next, I'll show you what you should practice it on. It's right next to our wall, where we practice our walls. It's right here. This one is the smallest tree in the forest map. So it's a great way to practice because it kind of gets you used to the trees. Now here's a little secret about the trees. The trees are the absolute same thing, but they're just scaled and rotated. So if you memorize what the trees look like, then you can pretty much branch really easy about this. So I'll show you some branching and like how to do it. So pretty much you just hop onto any branch, and whenever you see other branches that you know you can make, just go for them. There's some harder branches to make, and pretty much your only goal is to confuse your opponent by doing some weird stuff that they probably wouldn't expect. Now, some ways to confuse them is one, do not go straight. Like, I'll show you an example of how they're going to get you. If you just do this, they're going to get you. So you want to go diagonally like this. something like that. It will confuse them, and yeah. Like I said, the trees are pretty much the same thing. They're just scaled and rotated differently. Except for 2 trees in the whole game. One tree being the stump, which I don't even know if that counts, and the treehouse, which has a treehouse in the way, so some stuff is cut off. Now, the way you can practice scaling is by scaling up the tall tree like this. Like that, and as you can see, a lot of practice makes you go up very far and at a short time. Another way to scale, which is way slower but it sometimes works, is pinch climbing the tree. Now, I don't really know that we need to go in depth from that because we literally just did it. Anyways, now I'm going to be showing you what branching looks like in third person from other players' POVs. That route is very confusing. I don't think they'll catch you with that. So yeah, next thing I'm going to show you, and this is the final thing, is how to like run people and all 3 of these skills that you've just learned into one. So, maybe branch, go on the walls, back onto the branch, scale on the branch. Now, 2 things I would avoid in this game. Number 1, ground. The lava monkeys have a boost. And number 2, the walls, because the walls are probably one of the easiest things to do in the game. Some harder stuff is the branching that I've been showing you. Because like I said, people get confused from just doing basic stuff on this. Like that, they're not catching you. But yeah, another way to confuse people is, you've probably seen this all over like YouTube and TikTok, juking. Just stick your right hand somewhere and it confuses people. But sometimes they don't work, because most of the time they don't. But whenever they do, it's pretty funny. So one juke, I'll just teach you the J-Man curly slide juke. Stick your right hand through the slide and pull yourself like that. So put that together. You got something like that. I'll show you what it looks like in the third person. It's something simple like that, but it works really well. Another way to juke is using these poles and just sticking your left hand through it, jump up, and then push like that with your left hand. So you want to push like this. So I'll show you what I mean. If you hear that sound and you like go down, sorta-ish, I would not go. I would practice more going like upward. Because if I do it like that, I'll just run into a pole. But if I do it upward, I don't run into that. Or if I'm juking maybe on a tree, because you can do this on a tree. You just stick your arm through a branch and then push up. Like that. If I do it downward, then it does that. But if I do it upward, it pushes me up. So that's why. Because it confuses people, because they expect you to keep running. But whenever you're like this, you can maybe get a route started like that. I also said there's only 3 main skills. There's 4 because a lot of people do use the double walls, but they kind of just implement skills into it. Like, for example, wall running and wall climbing can be used like this. Another example is branching. You can just like scale up this And now you're on it. So some just simple stuff like that. Hopefully you get better at the game.